Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach, guys. Welcome to the SuperCoach press conference. Going to take a look at my side here. Working out of the state-of-the-art facilities here. So, working by car light, but without further ado, let's have a look at my side. And another tough one. And I think for a fair few SuperCoaches, it was quite tough. I scored 1995, which put me in the top 23%, which suggests it was another tough week, because that's not a great score. And to be around the 20% mark, the top 20% is probably not deserving of that. Didn't do too much really with the rankings. I mean, I went up, which is surprising, but nonetheless, there's a bit of work to do. Now, taking to my side, of course, the back line, my three premiums did fire. Adams, Laird, Tui, all scoring at least 99. Otten and Hampton, of course, struggled in that blitzing performance from North Melbourne, which was unbelievable. I actually had to double check the scores. I heard it on the radio. They said they crossed to the game and said Adelaide not even scoring, North Melbourne 10-3-63 or something like that. I actually thought they buggered up. So when I saw it on the phone, on the app, I was like, gee whiz. And then Williamson, just 48. And I love SuperCoach, but that's one of my little pet hates with SuperCoach Classic. I love SuperCoach Draft. Absolutely love it. I think that's the best defining figure for someone who does know their SuperCoach. And the rookies and the cash cows are just a little element that frustrates me in Classic, and I think it's tough because sometimes it just comes down to luck and depending on the week. I mean, for example, Williamson scores really good last week. You have to field him this time, only scores 48. Balak, likewise, missed his 78 last week, gets his 40 this week. Missed Parfitt's 99 ages ago, got Barrett's 60. They're just 30 to 40 point differences, but they just come down to luck, and I'm sure it frustrates a lot of people, but I just do find it so often at the start of the season, these little points here and there that do make or break you over the course of 5 weeks. It's not all luck. Sometimes it's good management too, but sometimes it can be a bit annoying when it doesn't quite fall your way, and sometimes it's out of your hands. Sometimes it just comes down to luck when certain players are out and you just have to field a certain rookie. Anyway, there's my little rant over. Stewart and Newman both get dropped. Little bit concerning. Probably mid last week I thought I'd have a full defence playing. All of a sudden 2 guys get dropped. Disappointing. As you probably see, only got 50k in the bank. My trades were Pendlebury to come in. Only scored the 91, but not too bad. And Heaney came in, which was really pleasing, 116. So, of course, I told you guys that I was going to do that. It's my video was about last week, but I was happy to see them pay off. The midfield, Rockcliffe, absolutely dominant. After Pendlebury failed on the VC loophole, which is an example of where it can be handy, it was out of Fife and Rockcliffe. Again, just a little bit of a 50-50 call that I got wrong and cost me some solid points. But 99 for Fife, look, it's not great. But then again, we've copped some pretty poor captain options. Of course, last week, Fife was my skipper, scored about 62, and Hanbury in round 1 when he scored, 50-odd. So, you win some, you lose some. Can't be too greedy. Mitchell, 108, very consistent player. Probably been one of my best picks for the whole season, along with Rockcliffe. Trelaw, 73. What do you do? What do you do? Shows good signs on Anzac Day. You think, yeah, he's back. And then he puts in a performance like that. I'm just, I'm scratching my head. He's not going to be a guy that I look to absolutely burn and trade out, because I really do feel like he'll have a stage of the season, even if it's over 6 weeks, where he dominates. We're yet to see it, but I'll be looking to certainly upgrade cash cows and rookies before I trade out Trelaw. Hanbury, 118. He's starting to come good, thank goodness. Pal Pepper, just the 60 points, but, it'll help work his price up a little bit as long as he's not dishing up 30s and 40s. Harley Balak wasn't as good as he was the last couple of weeks, but his price rises a little bit, averaging the 57 points. And Barrett came in, tackles, gets a few handballs. I think he can be a solid 60 to 70 scorer if he can hold his position. So we'll wait and see. Of course, Parfitt and Fox both injured, I believe. Of course, Parfitt is, but I'm not sure whether Fox is back from that slight knee niggle. Brodie Grundy, probably one of my more main sources of frustration. He's really annoying me. should be doing better than this. I am unsure why he's doing so poorly. I really do feel like he's had a better season than a 92 average. Nonetheless, that's what he's doing. Sanderland, 77 points. It is starting to get to the point with him where maybe you start to make a call. You know, do you make a decision on upgrading him to a Stephen Martin or something like that? It's going to be a tough little call because he's not averaging premium ruck points, but he's also not injured and he's also not a pressing issue. But by the same token, he's probably getting to a point where maybe if you are going to trade him out, which I presume we all will, the time is probably now. So, interesting little call there. And Bruce, still not back in the side. Really surprised by that. But anyway, I would have thought they'd be looking to give him opportunity. But obviously, after that performance from the Roos, you wouldn't think he'd break his way into the side. And forward line was pretty good, aside from Hannon. Dalhouse real good, McRae good, Lynch good, Heaney good, very pleased. Hannon, you know, obviously I didn't expect him to do anything that good. You hope for a 70, you get a 35, 34, you know, that happens. Shaun Higgins, how did he score 72? I don't really look too hard at the stats or the SuperCoach numbers during the week. On the weekend, I don't really look at them. I watch the games. If you know your SuperCoach and been doing it for a while, you know that you don't need to look at the scores that well. If you watch a game, you pretty much know within 5 to 10 points what they're on. I just want to check because just listening to the game and seeing your stats, I think he kicked 2 goals, had low 20s or something, and seemed to be one of the better players on the ground. I mean, you guys probably know what I'm about to see here. You've probably dissected the stats more than me. And if you're wondering why I don't look at the SuperCoach statistics, it's you either know your player's playing well, and that's good. That's when I might look at it a bit more. But as soon as a player's going bad, I don't really want to know how bad they're going, especially if I have a couple, because, you know, when you take your SuperCoach seriously, it does annoy you a bit when your players aren't going well. So I choose to just go, well, it's out of my control if they're going poorly. Let's not let it ruin me weekend as well. Had Geelong doing that enough. Where are we? So, what did he do? Oh, he only had the 19, kicked 2, 4 tackles. I mean, he must have been ineffective, I presume. Yeah, there you go. 47% disposal efficiency, which is very much unlike Shawnee Higgins. But anyway, so yeah, look, there's my team. Then Curvis will come back. I mean, we can obviously do that now. Got a little bit of dead weight on the bench, that's for sure. Parfitt is probably the only one there making me coin. I really thought Newman would keep his spot. Again, North Melbourne, Sydney had very good wins. Probably not going to make too many changes to their side. Hopefully Eddie can be a chance to come in. I've been saying that for a long time. Maybe with a Port loss it might change it. Otherwise, it's starting to get to the stage where you wish you could do more than 2 trades a week. Because you'd love to, at this stage, probably dispose of Otten, Hampton, nearly Pal Pepper. He's probably nearly peaked. I mean, Hannon's probably not going to do much more in reality. And you'd probably like to bring in Shaw. You'd probably like to bring in Martin. You'd probably like to bring in Rewalt. So, in a perfect world, you had 5 or 6 trades you could do. But that's the thing. It's all about timing your trades. And that's why I say and why I stress to look at your trade plan and how you're going to do it over the next few weeks. Because if you can work that out and save your 30 or 40k by getting a guy at the right time and trading a guy at the right time, all of a sudden you can find yourself with an extra upgrade, i.e. an extra 200k. So it is something I'm going to have to think on. I'm going to have a look at what's available. Off the top of my head, I'll probably be placing a priority on probably bringing in it's a tough one. I mean, probably Dustin Martin or Heath Shaw. And look, Nick Rewalt also might be the guy that you look at, but when you look at that forward line, it's probably going to be the 6 guys you run with for a little bit. But we'll just have to wait and see, because I think Rewalt's a must-have. I might just have to make a hard call on someone, but again, it's not a pressing issue. So anyway, guys, I'll wrap it up there. Obviously, I'll think about that throughout the week. hopefully you had a good week in SuperCoach anyway. Of course, it was tough for some people. I've been looking at a few forums and inbox. A few people had some real disastrous scores. So to be a touch under 2,000, it's not the end of the world. I guess when your overall ranking goes up, you can't complain too much. Certainly had some reasonable scorers, but equally was dudded by some cash cows that scored 48, 47, 41 and 34. So they really hurt. They really hurt. So hopefully I can rid a few of those from my starting lineup in the coming weeks and start to build on that low end scores, just to really, because I've got the top end for the most part. Just got to cancel out a few of those poorer scores and get premium numbers from premiums that I expect to deliver. So that'll be a few of the things I look to attend to. And yeah, thanks for getting on board Shorty Say as well. I know quite a few people seem to enjoy that, and the views have been really good. Sorry for the late upload. As you can see, it's 11 o'clock, which probably means this won't be uploaded till, I don't know, 11:45 or something like that. So it's probably the best I can do, really. I mean, I finish work at about 9:30. So it's as good as it can really do by the time you get home and you have a drive and you eat your tea and whatnot. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate the feedback and the comments as always. I'll look to get to them throughout the week. So comment away. As you know, I don't really get to the comments on the weekend preview because the weekend begins before I can get to them. So yeah, by all means, ask your questions here. Hopefully I can deal with them, and hopefully the weekend preview can help you out later in the piece. So thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment on the video as I mentioned. Give the video a like, and I'll catch you guys during the week.